So it's here. All right, so the box is cool. We got a cool little box. I like the crayon, kind of playful. And then inside the box, you get a case, which is cool and weird at the same time. I mean, I feel like for a flip device, we don't need that. But anyway, inside the box, we have our SD card, we have a manual, and up here we have a screen protector and a flat USB-C cable to USB-A, screen protector. So I got the yellow. It wasn't my first choice. I think there were some issues with the other one, or it wasn't some of the other colors that they weren't in stock or whatnot. By the way, this came to me by LitNxt. Thank you, LitNxt, for sending me this for the purpose of review. As always, they don't see this video beforehand. No money was exchanged. They don't have any influence over this video at all. So I'm giving you my honest opinions here. I just want to make that perfectly clear before we dive right into all of the things. So, but thank you, LitNxt, and I will leave a link in the description below for their site. But so I got the yellow. It's got a little bit of a matte finish. This ribbing back here is reminiscent of the Miyoo Mini Plus, and I also have the original Miyoo right here. But the Miyoo Mini Plus, you know, has that texture on the back. So we're going to do a lot of comparisons, because here I have the A30, I have the Anbernic 35XX SP, and this thing, I mean, I put a sticker on it. It's awesome. I've done many videos on this device, and my hope is that the Miyoo Flip could possibly replace the Anbernic for me. I always like to have a device in my pocket, or that I grab, you know, in my coat. Right now it's still sort of winter here in Michigan, but you know, I always like to have something with me. The whole idea of a clamshell being my everyday carry is a great idea, is phenomenal, because then I don't have to worry about the screen. And that was one thing about the Miyoo Mini Plus that I did not like. I ended up picking up this case, which I got on Etsy, and I did a video before about it. And this thing is awesome. Ready? Oh, that's strange. Wow, that's weird. That's really super weird. So, okay. There is a lot of tension with the Flip. It's not like the Anbernic. You just open it up and it just kind of loosely goes boink, you know, and it goes into place. And then you can just kind of, with not a lot of force, you can just kind of close it. But this, it's like you have to open it up. You got to use two hands here. And then that's weird. I don't like that, but okay. Inside, we'll talk more about the Hinge here in a second. Oh, those buttons are nice. So this is why I was very excited about this device. I love my SP. I do. I love it to death. But I have version 1, which I'm fine with, and I never modded it, and that's okay. You know, the button mod that you could do. But I don't want to have to use the clicky buttons if I don't exactly have to, but I got used to them. My default is I like rubber membrane connections. That's just what I prefer. Everybody's different. You might, you know, have loved the micro, you know, the clicky buttons on that. So They're like a soft click. They're like I want to say that's like a dome switch. So there's a little bit, it's kind of like it's in the middle. It's not a rubber membrane connection, but it's not, super clicky like the SP. So, but it has a little bit of give, and it's very quiet. Versus so that's how rattly the SP is. There's no rattle. Nice. I like that. That's pretty cool. Dpad is a little thin. It would have been really cool if they would have gone with like this Dpad. Because these are, the Miyoo Mini Plus is just amazing. It's such, I gotta start using this again. Anyway, but this is a little thin. It's not gonna be bad. I get that they probably, they had to make certain decisions because it's a clamshell, because you're closing it. So there's not a whole lot, obviously, because there's an indent. They didn't want the screen to smash on the buttons and everything. So, but we'll see how it plays. It's the same feel as the buttons are. It's not overly loud, but it's not like a super soft membrane. Menu button in the middle, that just kind of feels like a dome switch. It's not very clicky though. Same with the start and select down at the bottom. So now, let's do the joysticks. Oh, these are weird. They're little. They're little, and there's not a lot of travel with them. Which I get that you can't have a lot of travel, but you can see, so it's not like it's, hitting the sides. It's hitting the bottom side, like the very bottom of the shell, but it's not hitting this, the upper part of the shell, if, words, sorry. So, yeah. These also have L3, R3, so they do press in. They are smaller than even your typical Nintendo size, Nintendo Switch style joystick. They are smaller. Also, what's a little strange is that, I don't know if you can see this right there, they are domed at the top. So they have, and they're not very, they're almost slippery in a way. They're not very grippy. So that'll be interesting to try to test out. Obviously, before I even get into gameplay and turning this on, don't buy this for the higher systems, which is, N64, Dreamcast, PSP. We'll see whether or not this can actually play it, but typically with this chipset, it's running the 3566. It'll play some. It's not going to be great for everything. Plus, I don't think anybody really wants... Oh, there's some cute little music. Now, the operating system that's typically on here, it's just from Miyoo. It isn't anything that you... Unless you've used a Miyoo device before, it's not going to be super familiar, but they all look kind of the same. It's very, very similar. You can see settings. You can adjust the brightness. You can... LCD frequency. Interesting. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You can change the color. Here's where you can change the hue and the saturation. Change the contrast. That's typical of Miyoo. Language, calibration, I believe, for the joysticks. So that's cool. I got some cardinal snapping going on, which, these are not Hall effect sensor sticks or TMR or any of, the newer style sticks that you would get on a nice controller. A couple different themes, and you can boot it into emulation station. So that's a little different. We haven't really seen that before. Now apps, you go into apps and you can do a few different things. You can That's if you're going to connect it to anything else, you know, your computer or maybe a flash drive or whatnot. RetroArch settings. Here we have a commander prompt. We have Celeste. I'm assuming that's a port. We have a music player. And that's basically it. You can favorite them and you can go scroll right through. Now, oh, it turned off right about there. The screen shut off. But the LED light, oh, it just turned completely off. So it must be set up to do, when you close it, it goes into sleep mode and then it turns off. So, oh, it must have been in sleep mode. Okay, that's really cool. I like that. So it'll go into sleep mode and then you can go right back into where you were. You got Dreamcast. I mean, we have the normal stuff that we have in here. DOS games, that's pretty cool. Easy RGP. We got some Atari, Famicom, and what's MPV? There's nothing in there anyways. Okay. DS is funny. It's funny that they have DS because I don't know why you would want to play DS on this little tiny screen. Plus, it's not touchscreen, so yeah. N64 is right there. I don't know what that is. What's ONS? What just happened? Okay, that just booted me back into the main menu. I don't know what this is. That's weird. TurboGrafx 16, PlayStation. Maybe that's Portmaster? Oh. We don't know because it's all in Mandarin. PPSSPP, we got Saturn, and then WonderSwan Color. So you got quite a few things you can play on here. Okay, so I just turned it off. Actually, here. I did that off camera, so my apologies. Okay, I have Alex Kidd in Miracle World on Sega Master System, and you can see that the LED just turned off, and then when we open it back up, LED turns on, and it asks you if you want to continue, save it, you know, do all that, and then you just hit the hit A for continue, and you can go right back into the game. I didn't turn on the game, so I was right at the exactly where we were. Speaker's just a mono speaker. I mean, it's not going to really blow you away. That's all they really had room for, you know, in the Flip here. This hinge is so strange. It's so strange. Controls feel good. The buttons are shallow, but not like it's unplayable. It's just an observation that they're shallow. Same thing with the D-pad. But it's a good D-pad. It feels almost the same size. It's just a little bit smaller, a little weirder than, you know, this is just a great D-pad. And great buttons over here. So, but these are full-size buttons and full-size D-pads. So, but we don't have full-size, the full-size ability, I'll say, here. So, and with the A30, this is very similar to the Miyoo Mini Plus. This is such a great device. If you are just watching this channel, this is a great device. So I have many videos on that. And that's why I was so excited about the Flip, because, you know, the A30 was okay. I just didn't like it because of the screen, the tininess of it, the smallness, but that's just because I have old eyes. But it's not a bad device. You know, it plays pretty decently. I just prefer usually a 3.5 inch at least screen. Wonder if it's using the right core. It is. Wait, what? It's playing. It's playing. If you can hear this, there is nothing on the screen. It's trying to play California games on the Sega Master System. You can see that it's on. The screen is not working. What's happening? Okay, if I hit menu... What? What? What is going on here? That's bizarre. Okay, let's try Captain Silver. I know not many people play Sega Master System. I grew up on it, and that's why I show it a lot of times. And I know not many people are going to care that Sega California Games doesn't work on Sega Master System. But that was strange. Oh dear, the Cheshire Cat got us. Let's try to go back in. Oh. Okay. Apparently that was just an issue. Now we're playing. That's really green. I'm going to have to go back and change the saturation. The screen does not look like this. So right after this game, I will change that. So by default, you can see Alien Hominid is playing great, but there is an overlay on there. So they have some bezel on there. So it says that Game Boy Advance, and that's cool. But you can see that, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but there are some grid lines on there. So there is a filter on there, and you can probably go in and change that if you wanted to. I wonder if we're able to do that in this menu. What's native menu? Okay, so that's where you would go into RetroArch, and then you can change the on-screen overlay, display overlay, so you can see that that's on. Okay, here is Pico 8. I wonder if you can change the size. Nope. So this is not native Pico 8. This is using, I'm assuming, Faco 8, because we don't have native Explorer on here. So that's one thing that, I'd love to see custom firmware for this. I believe that you can already do a version of MinUI or a version of it and put it on there. A really quick comparison. I mean, you can see both of these right next to each other. They have the same size screen. I know it doesn't look like it, but these are both a 3.5-inch screen. It's just the way that the Anbernic has an overlay in it. You can see like there's an extra bezel piece, extra housing piece right in there. So very similar as far as what you have. They have the indents as well. Now I don't have a real Game Boy Advance at all, but I do have the original V90, which I'm not even sure if this thing works. I thought that I had a problem with it before, so it just kind of collects dust. There's a sticker on the back. So, but yeah, you can see all of them, the different sizes, and I feel like oh, I just turned that off. I feel like the Flip is, right in between, and I feel like it's a good size. Whereas the Anbernic, the SP, I love it, but I do feel like it's a little bit on the bulky side. It's just a little bit beefier, a little heftier, and it's a lot. Actually, they feel about the same, but the size of it is just, yeah. The Miyoo, the Flip actually feels just a little bit heavier. These, we'll do a quick. That's 29, what is that, 29.7? Go this way. 31 and a half for the Anbernic Dpad, and 29.7. Even the V90 has a bigger D-pad. And then the A30, Yeah, A30 is still even a bigger D-pad, and here we have, yep, the A30 and the Plus probably are using almost the same D-pad. V90. So there is that little like plastic click. This thing is so like, it's like a kid's toy practically. And this, you gotta like, you have to be forceful with how you're gonna open it. So it opens, it doesn't stay, it's just a little bit past 90 degrees is where the first click is. And I don't know who's going to be playing it at this angle. That's the angle that it is. But then normal angle is probably here. You know, you have a little bit more. And that's the second click. And then there isn't another click, but this is completely flat, which don't do that, because then I feel like you're asking for trouble if you go all the way back. It doesn't click into that position, and that's where you're going to just start degrading the hinge. So now I'm curious if we see any hinge separation. There is the tiniest portion. There is the tiniest portion up here. Right here you can, I don't know if my camera is going to pick this up, but it's like the hinge hasn't, the plastic isn't completely hitting the back piece of the plastic. The hinge is not completely closed. And it's not bad on the other side, but this one, that's worrisome to me. That right there, that is a possible beginning of the end for this device. So that worries me quite a bit, because I literally just got this device. I just got this. And I opened it, and then I turned on my camera, and then, you know, you're seeing this video. So that really worries me, because, I mean, how long is this going to last? This, now the Anbernic, I took around. I went on vacation with it. I did a couple different things with it. I carried it in my pocket, you know, in and out of my pocket all summer. And even past that, I want to say that, you know, into probably the cold weather, even around probably Christmas, I think this was what I had in my coat pocket, or what I was grabbing, because I always have a handheld that I'm just going to take around with me. And that's why I wanted the Flip, because it was just a little bit smaller, might be a little bit more pocketable. I'm going to open it quite a bit more, and I'm going to keep opening the Flip over and over. I'm not going to, like, you know, be super angry with it or bend it any extra way, and I'm just going to see. Okay, I'm using the joystick right now, and it's playable, but it definitely, yeah, I don't know. These joysticks, I'm not a big fan of. So here is Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. And again, don't get this device for Dreamcast. Some stuff is going to play. Boy, that hinge is weird. So, this is a little bit weird because, I hate when I do this. Super Mario, I feel like this game isn't exactly what I wanted. I was really looking for like Super Smash Brothers, but I'm sure that doesn't actually work on here. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's skipping, so that's good. Now we got some stuttering. Okay, the joysticks are very strange. Now, granted, I used to play this on a touchscreen. Oh, you can't play it with the... Oh, no. Ooh. Okay, you can use the Dpad. This is very... It's a little slow. It's a little slow. It's a little stuttery. So, my final thoughts. I would say inconclusive, but I'm leaning towards the side of let's pause on this device as far as maybe you buying this. I hate to say that. I hate to ever have a negative review. However, I like to be completely and totally honest because why are we doing this if we're not honest with the devices? But mine's not broken. Mine's not broken. I know a few other members in the community, they have broken ones or they're having some issues with the Hinge. I haven't had it that long, so I am going to test it out. So definitely make sure you subscribe and keep an eye on. I'll post it here in YouTube. I'll also be posting it on my socials. So definitely be subscribed. And I'll just let you know what I come up with. I'm going to try to make this my daily driver, and even more so than just when I'm out of the house running errands. I'll put it in my pocket, just try to jam on it here and there for maybe a few minutes, and we'll see what happens. I want to like this. I really do. I want to like this. I want this to be better. I don't want this to have the problems. I love Miyoo. I love the Miyoo Mini Plus. I mean, it's a great device. I love the Miyoo Mini. Those are both fantastic devices. I wanted this to be just a little bit better. So it's a shame because the buttons are great. The buttons, the D-pad are actually not bad for, being shallow, and they're not as clicky as the Anbernic. So that's cool, but I don't know. Miyoo. So I'll leave links in the description below. I'll leave the link for this device on LitNxt's website. Also, all the other devices that you've seen in this video. And if you pick one up, great. That supports the channel. That would be fantastic. But, I don't know if I can say pick this up. So, caution tape. This has caution tape. It's yellow, so mine is yellow, so caution tape. We're going to use that. I'll have more videos. I want I want this to be better and I don't want it to break. I'm just so hesitant. So yeah. With the seam that I showed you up at the top, and I mean, it's not getting bigger, but it's there and it's noticeable now. And that worries me because I've barely tested this and I've barely opened it. Not enough to maybe 50 times. I don't even know if I've opened that many times. 50 to 100. It can't be more than that because I haven't had that long. So we'll see. But as always, thanks for watching. Stay awesome, everyone. And go play some games.